Alright guys, we're back yet again for another movie review, and again, you guys should know if you've been following me long enough that I've done so many movie reviews that I forgot, but we're looking at Hook. Yes, the classic Robin Williams film. I love this film. I remember watching it for the first time when I was a kid. I think it was either on VHS or it was on TV or something, but again, through the entirety of this film, it's magical because you have Robin Williams play as older Peter Pan, who pretty much was taken in by Wendy at a very young age, and he loses his memory of being Peter Pan. And when his kids are kidnapped by Hook and the pirates, he has to somehow follow them with the help of Tinkerbell, and he doesn't even remember Tinkerbell because he got older and he lost his memory. And what happens is he gets taken to Neverland, and he's put through initiation by the rest of the Lost Boys, and some of them know who he is and the others don't. And the one that is the new leader of the Roof Boys, Rufio, who is the very rugged, new guy that, he wants to prove himself, and he thinks he's the best, and he's the new Pan, and they put him through absolute hell. And when he tries to go after his kids, he can't do anything. He can't fight, he can't fly, he can't do any of this, and he goes through immense training, and it doesn't do anything. So Tink and I think Peter, they go to their old place of where he was at before he left, and what happened is that he actually gains his memory of everything from him with his mother, him kind of running away / his mother not, paying attention to him. Then Tink saved him, pretty much helped raise him, and she did fall in love with him for a long time. And then when he finally fell in love with Wendy's granddaughter after however many years of visiting Wendy, he fell in love with her granddaughter, and that's how, he left, Wonderland because of, or Neverland, because he did not, he wanted to be a father at some point, and he wanted to be a husband, and that's when he finally was able to do that. And that's how he's able to regain his powers, and how he's able to regain who he was. And then he goes through a time where he actually forgets that he's a father, and then he does remember everything, and he finally has to fight for his kids. And same thing where Hook tries to turn his kids against him, and the one that kind of gets turned against him is his son, because him and his son have a very bad relationship. Same thing with him and his daughter, but his daughter is actually wanting to leave. His son doesn't really want to leave, but then when his son starts seeing how Peter has become a better man and kind of reclaimed his inner child, and he fights. And I think Dustin Hoffman did an absolute magnificent job as Hook, and everyone else in the cast did too, because it's one of those, it's a very magical film where a lot of comedy, drama, funny moments. And Robin Williams, may he rest, he brought a magnificent performance like he always does, and I miss seeing him on screen. I miss seeing new movies by him, because I grew up, watching Robin Williams, and I'll miss him every day because of, what joy he brought to my childhood, like he did to many others. And I think this movie really goes into the whole don't lose your inner child, because at the very end, when he says one of the Lost Boys is like, what happens if you forget us again? And he's like, you're my Lost Boys, I could never forget you. And it's kind of like almost an empty promise, but at the same time it's very memorable, because now it's like he has more to remember than he did previously, because he was so in love with Wendy's granddaughter and Nora, and it just really got him to where he was finally able to remember everything, especially about becoming a father. And like I said, I know probably a lot of people have seen this film, and I know some people probably say that this is the best of all the movies, and I will agree, because I think because of not only the chemistry the actors had with one another, but also the story itself. And it's always either Peter loses his memory, or he's having to figure out where he's going in Neverland, or whatever the case of it is. And I think that's what works with this film, is because you have an older Peter Pan that is kind of reclaiming his throne of the Lost Boys and of Neverland, and he does reclaim it kind of halfway through the film, or almost at the end of the film, because of everything he went through of relearning of everything he used to do when he was a kid. And then since he became a very, stern, business working man, he forgot that inner child in him. And that's why I cough up this movie too, is never forget your inner child, and also love and respect your inner child. So Robin Williams, thank you, sir. Thank you for this movie. Thank you for that character. Thank you for the part. To everyone else, did a magnificent job, and I will always carry this movie with me throughout my years. So what do you guys think? Please tell me you've seen this film, or you remember this film, and also much more. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you as always on the next one.